Hey, this is Rachel Friedman, and you are listening to Mastering the Craft of Coaching. The entry bar in our coaching industry is really low. So to compete in the coaching industry, you have to be really fucking incredible at your craft. That's why every week I will be sharing my tips, tools, and stories to help you become an incredible coach for your clients. Truthfully, this is the backbone of your business, and it is what is going to make you a sought-after coach with a thriving business with clients who are sending you referral after referral after referral. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mastering the Craft of Coaching. My name is Rachel Friedman. I am your host. In today's episode, we are going to dive into the core elements that every coaching session needs. This is the anatomy. That's how I want you to think of it, the anatomy of an effective coaching session. This piece was part of a masterclass I recently led, the anatomy of an effective coaching session. And today I want to share with you on the podcast a little bit of what I shared in that masterclass. If you want more in depth, if you want to take, this work even deeper, right? Then I really, really, really want to encourage you. Doors are open to the November cohort of the Live Your Dharma coaching certification. This is the place, guys. This is the place to be. Here I can share with you knowledge, information, tools, but it's there where you will embody it, where you will take this work to the next level so you truly can be that effective coach, where you're getting those messages from clients that are thanking you, that are saying, oh my gosh, my husband is noticing the changes, right? That is fucking what we want here, right? And in order to be that coach, it really does require you to embody these principles. It's not just to know them on a cerebral level, but it's to know them in your body and to be able to move through them with a sense of fluidity and a sense of ease. Because every single human that comes into your space, your container, is how I like to think about it, is unique. And we need to treat each of them that way. So as much as I'm going to give you these 6 core elements today, they are not a script. They are not, you have to do this and then this and then this in order to get a result. I know so many of you have been told that for your clients to get a result, you have to follow a very specific process and a very specific order. And it's simply not true. There really isn't a specific step-by-step process that works on every human every time, right? Humans, as I said, we're all unique, we're all different. And really, the most important thing is that we treat our humans, right? The people that come into our coaching containers, our friends, our children, our partners, all as unique. Their experiences are unique. Whether they've experienced something similarly as you have, it's still different. And we must put our own stuff to the side. We are not advice givers. I just want to make that very clear. Coaching is not about giving advice. Coaching is about holding your client in the highest esteem, believing in their innate wisdom, and you helping them tap into that innate wisdom. That wisdom is like the medicine, I believe, for their life, for their soul, for who and how they want to elevate their life. So these ingredients, these elements that I'm going to share with you today, they are meant to be used fluidly. They are meant to be used interchangeably. They are meant for you to be able to flow in and out of, okay? They aren't meant for you to feel a sense of rigidity or a sense of stuckness. Now, I know some of you are actually looking for that. You want that magic script. You want someone to tell you, do this, then this, then this, and that is going to create a result. And unfortunately, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because then it takes away your own coach's intuition. It takes away that present moment of what is actually happening for your client in their current experience. When we take that away, we actually lose the magic of the coaching relationship. So here's the truth. In order to flow and be fluid in your coaching sessions, in order to be able to integrate these 6 ingredients, these 6 elements, we have to build this deep level of self-trust from within. We have to trust our own intuition. We have to trust what's coming through us is the right thing our clients need to hear.
And what I want you to say about that, that is also a skill that I believe takes practice. It takes understanding yourself, understanding your shadow. And that's some of the work we do inside Live Your Dharma, right? Is you've got to be able to take yourself to those deep, dark layers and be willing to experience all the human emotions in order to truly be able to do this and hold space for others to be able to do it too. Okay, but let's dive in. Let's dive into these 6 core elements today that make up the anatomy of a coaching session, right? So, we want to make sure that you're not just leading people to those aha moments, but then we're actually creating sustainable change. In order to create sustainable change, we know science has shown us, neuroscience has shown us, biology has shown us that humans must be in a regulated state, meaning your nervous system cannot be in fight or flight when you are trying to create sustainable change. You also can't be in shutdown, right? You need to be in a place, physiological. I don't know if that's a word. I just made it up, where you feel safe and connected. So, your job as a coach, first and foremost, always is ground yourself. Be grounded as you show up for that call. That means planning in advance, guys. If you have a call at 10 a.m., don't get ready to jump on that call at 9:55. Make sure that you're getting ready to jump on that call closer to 9:30 and you're taking a good 15, 20 minutes to ground yourself. Now, if you're not sure of how to ground yourself, make sure to get access to resources. I give you tons of them in the Live Your Dharma coaching certification. Simple resources that you need to ground yourself first, because your energy will impact the session. I want you to hear that your energy impacts the session. So we need your energy to be clean. Okay. And clean energy comes from taking this time to ground yourself, doing your own self coaching before you jump right into your call. Okay. Now, with that being said, one fast way, super fast way to ground your client is actually through celebration. And that's why in the anatomy of an effective coaching session, this is one of the core elements, celebrating. It may seem fluff, it may seem not that important to some people, but I want you to know it is actually essential. It's essential for your client's brain to start looking at what is working in their life. And you too. I'm curious, how often do you slow down, take the time, and celebrate yourself? And if right now I just blew your mind a little bit because you haven't done that even maybe yet today, I want you to just pause the podcast, take out a piece of paper, write down 5 things right now that you can celebrate. And if your brain is saying nothing, I want you to take 5 deep breaths and reground yourself. Ground yourself with your breath and just breathe in for 5, breathe out for 5. And then stay curious with yourself. For example, you got up today. Sometimes we have to go back to that simple, basic concept. So come up with 5 and don't just stop there. Maybe come up with 10. But when you have your list of things that you can celebrate, say them out loud, speak them out loud so you can witness them. You can hear them yourself. This is an important step. It is powerful. And inside the Live Your Dharma certification, we have a process, a celebrating process, actually, that I help take people through. And we do it week after week. So you begin to embody this process. Okay. So the first element is celebrations, tapping them first for yourself and then hoping your client tap into them. Because remember, we want to be able to start to shift our brain, shift our perspective to what's working. Because in life, things are working, things aren't maybe working as we want all the time. It's just most of us have given it way more focus and attention on what's not working, right? Than what is. We want to put more energy on what we want in life. And that means we need to put some energy on what's working. Okay, moving right along. The second element is grounding. So if you take anything from this podcast episode today, make it be this one thing. Okay. Like I mentioned, your nervous system needs safety and connection in order to create sustainable change. I know a lot of programs will teach you thought work, how to change the thoughts, but the truth is, those thoughts will not digest, they will not land if your nervous system is in a place, like I mentioned, of fight or flight, or what we call dorsal shutdown. So we must get ourselves into a regulated state. And then again, as we're taking our clients through their sessions, we want to get them into a regulated state. Now, it won't always happen, right? Depending on what's going on for them. But sometimes that's the magic of the session, spending the session teaching them, educating them, helping them ground. Okay. And again, that's what we do inside Live Your Dharma. I give you access to the top 6 grounding techniques. I think there's probably actually more in there now because I keep adding on. It's in the workbooks. So you get step-by-step guidance on how to do this yourself, of course, and then how to use these techniques with your clients. And then you show up every week and we practice them together, practice them as a group. You practice not just being the recipient, but also leading it. Because remember, we can go watch a ballet. I said this recently to a client, and we could go watch it 100 times over, but you don't become the ballerina by just watching it, by observing it. You have to do it. You have to take the time, right? I'm not a ballerina, never did that, but to practice the technique of it. And that's what we do. And it's important that you have a space, my friends, to do that. I can tell you from personal experience, that is what really, really has helped me refine and hone my craft and elevate it and take it to the place where now my clients are mind blown. They love coming into my program. When they leave it, everyone believes so far, thank goodness, that they've gotten so much incredible value from it, right? That's what I want for you and your clients too. So grounding, oh, essential. Okay, next ingredient, my friends, is identifying. We must identify what it is this client has come to us today to get coaching on. Now, sometimes clients won't know. Sometimes clients will come with pages and pages of thought downloads. Sometimes clients will come with you with 5, 6, 7, 10 thoughts, 10 situations that they want to work through. And then sometimes clients will come to you with nothing. Maybe they hired you and now they've disassociated. They've gone completely frozen and they don't even know where to go. And we need to be able to help these clients get to one thing we're going to work on in that session. If we try to pile it all on, it will become overwhelming, both for us as the coach and for our client, which we know creates the nervous system to shut down. And again, remember, nervous system shutdown equals no change. So we have a process of identifying, separating out what right now is key that we work on, we work through, I should say, and that we maybe go, I won't drop that one. So we work through, and it's through this process of asking questions, separating out facts from story, and other fabulous tools that we then can move to the next phase or next element, because like I said, they don't always go in a specific order. Sometimes once you identify what's going on for the client, we need to go back to grounding. Yeah, I know, right? Okay. Some people like to do celebrations at the end, right? I want you to see this as elements like a human body that all come together, that work beautifully together, but they're not rigid in the way they need to be incorporated. Once we know what we want to work through with the client, we must go into inquiry. I would say inquiry for a lot of the people that come through my program is the part they get stuck on often the most. It's it's the meat, I would say. Inquiry and the next element, which is processing, I would say are the meat and potatoes of your coaching sessions. And inquiry requires you to be able to dive into this person's experience and really understand it, witness it. And then through questions, through holding space, through understanding what's being said and not being said, through observing your client, right? Because this is not always what they're just saying. We have to learn as coaches to also read their unconscious, and the unconscious speaks through body language, right? Through gestures, through tone. And these are all things we learn inside the inquiry section. These are all things that you want to be very mindful of. And actually, I think next week on the podcast, I'm going to share the 5-step art of inquiry. The art of inquiry. It was a masterclass I had led, and I'm going to share it, I think, next week on the podcast. So listen in next week. Okay. So once you navigate inquiry, then we move into processing. And like I just mentioned, inquiry and processing are often the meat of your coaching session. Processing is tapping into how is this affecting this human inside, right? Because we know, we've come to learn that our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings are all stored in the human body. So we can tap into the human body somatically, right? And if you're not familiar with somatics, it's being able to tap into the wisdom of the human body. And there's very specific techniques, right, that we use. There's not one, there's a variety of them that we use. I share them all in the workbook. We share them in the modules. We practice them inside the Live Your Dharma coaching certification. So if that's something you want to have more experience with, more practice with, or maybe it's totally new for you, that's something we do. But we use the human body to tap into the wisdom. And a lot of that's what's going on underneath the surface, right? The unconscious. When we can pull out the unconscious and match it with the conscious, then we can move to the last element, which is to actionize. And I want to make it very clear that taking action is important, guys. All this other stuff is great. It's all those aha moments that are going to happen in the identify, the inquiry, and the processing. But it's in the action where your clients will actually start to create a new result. Now, yes, we can feel so much better with grounding, with identifying, with inquiry and processing, of course, with celebrating. But to make a sustainable change, to get a new result, we must apply the steps of actionize. We must take action. We must put things into action. And there's a process of putting things into action where you learn to evaluate, right? Learn from it, because just because you take an action doesn't mean it will always go the way you want. And if we make it a problem, we end up back into the problem space. And not that that's a problem, but we want to learn how to take our actions, learn from them, use them for us, not against ourselves, to keep moving ourselves forward, to keep elevating ourselves as humans, right? And if you're a coach, as a healer, or whatever you do in this life. Okay. So these are the 6 core elements: grounding, identifying, inquiry, processing, actionize, and celebrating. Now, like I said, when you can move through these with flow, with ease, your clients get results. And I didn't mean to yell at you there, but they do. I've seen it time and time again. I have worked with thousands of humans over the last, 2 decades, through coaching, through doing therapy, through teaching yoga, and leading yoga teachers into being powerful teachers. And it is every single time that I've been able to break it down to these 6 elements. And when they're not being incorporated, that's when we slow down our clients' progress. That's when we slow down our own progress. That's when I see the frustration tends to come up and the results are not sustainable. So I really want to hone in. I want you to begin to integrate these 6 elements into your coaching sessions. And when you do, I want you to see the magic that unfolds, both for yourself and for your clients. And it is incredible to be part of this experience. It is truly an honor and a gift. I believe it's God's work. We get to be a part of it, which to me, there's nothing fucking better. So start to integrate grounding, identifying, inquiry, processing, actionize, and celebrations into your coaching sessions. And I would love to hear what manifests for you. What manifests for you personally when you integrate this into your own personal coaching, your self-coaching, which if you're not doing, stop the podcast right now and go to work on that. And then, of course, with your clients. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, if all of this feels a little bit overwhelming, no worries. I've got you. Come join us in the November cohort. I keep the group small so you get lots of attention. So you are able to practice all of these elements. So you are able to integrate them into your coaching. So you know that no matter what your client brings to the call, that you will be able to help them. That you can stay present, calm, and grounded in the now, because coaching happens in the now, guys. And if you're in the future, in the past, the client can't get results, or I shouldn't say they can't, but it's going to be much more of a challenge. Look, imagine what would happen if nothing was going to rustle your feathers anymore. That even when your client's being resistant or they have nothing that they feel like they want to work on, you know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to do if they hit a plateau, if they downslide. What? You're going to know how to handle all of this. This is what we do inside this program. Imagine having a space where you get tons of practice integrating and applying the tools on both yourself and your peers. You get to practice the tools and techniques and get live feedback that you can apply right away. You get coached on your own blind spots, because let's be real, I have coaches. We all need them, right? We all have those blind spots and we can't see them. They're right in front of us. You get coached on your coaching, right? So you don't pick up any funky habits along the way. And so you can be the most effective coach for your clients. You have a space to mastermind with other coaches on difficult coaching situations. So you can get different perspectives. So when you go back to your client, you can try out new things, navigate the session in different ways, help your clients get results faster. This is what we do in the Live Your Dharma Coaching Certification. It's the only program I know of on the market that offers support of this kind. It's a holistic approach where we look at the entire human, mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like if you decide to join us. You're going to up-level your coaching skills so you never again feel wobbly, my friends. You're going to know how to coach through any situation that your clients bring. You're not going to feel lost for words or question what tool to use with your clients. I'm going to give you the foolproof processes that go in each of these ingredients, and you're going to embody them. You're going to know them forwards and backwards, inside and out, so you can show up confidently. You're going to be able to run your coaching sessions and consults with such ease and flow. That's what happens, guys. So doors are open. We start end of November. There's a link in the show notes. Also, I would love to hear from you all as you take this work that I'm sharing on the podcast and integrate into your coaching businesses. What is coming up for you? I also love to hear what else do you want to hear about on the podcast. Please share. And don't forget to rate and review. It's the only way I know how we're doing. All right, my friends, if you want to experience some live coaching with feedback and you're listening to this in real time, I will also drop the link for Friday's free round robin coaching call. This is something we do in the group. I'm offering it to the public this Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. You can come, coach a peer, get some feedback on your coaching that you get to take and integrate right away. All right, my friends, have a fantastic week. I'll see you next week for another fun episode. Till then, namaste.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Mastering the Craft of Coaching. If you want to learn more about my work, come visit me at rachelbethcoaching.com. Hope you have a fantastic week. Till next time, see you then.